All right, thanks for joining us, everybody. We are joined by the Missouri Department of Conservation's Jason Isabelle. He is the Cervid Program Supervisor with the Missouri Department of Conservation. Jason, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
We're glad to have you here, and to dig a little bit deeper into the recent antlerless portion of deer hunting. Can you take us through when this happened and just some of the results that we saw there?
Yeah, sure. So this is our inaugural or early antlerless portions. First time we've ever had this season portion. The reason we initiated this season portion is we've got deer numbers that are about at desired levels in most counties of the state, but the population continues to increase, and so we wanted to provide more opportunity for hunters to harvest antlerless deer, to help increase antlerless deer harvest, to help stabilize the deer population, given that it's at desired numbers in most counties. And so this was the kickoff year for us. It went really well. It was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3-day hunt. We had some incredibly great weather, cool temperatures, had deer on their feet moving during daylight activity, or during daytime, I should say. Pleasant conditions for hunters to be out there, and hunters harvested over 16,000 deer during those 3 days, helping us to, again, meet the goal of the season to harvest some additional antlerless deer to help meet our deer management goals.
All right, and taking us through that, did you go into it with any expectations? Of course, being the first year, it's not measuring up to anything that's come before. Were there any, goals or expectations with that you all were looking at?
We were in the ballpark of what I was thinking. I came up with an estimate before the season started and figured we'd be somewhere between 15 and 20,000. And we were, of course, within that range. And with a relatively short season of only 3 days, weather plays a big factor, in a shorter season than it does in a longer season. And we just happened to get really lucky. It was, early October, as folks know, it was very warm in the 80s, generally pretty hot to be deer hunting. So to get the cold front to come through and have those really cool temperatures for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday was everything hunters, I think, hoped it would be.
All right. And then, of course, the hunting seasons, the other portions of the hunting season will continue coming up. Can you take us through what comes up next for hunters?
Yeah, so archery season is currently open and has been since September 15th. And that'll continue right up through the November portion of firearms deer season, and then it'll resume after the November portion ends and run all the way through the 15th of January. And in between that, we have some various firearms portions. We have the early youth portion that's coming up at the end of this month, followed by the November portion, which is the most popular season portion that we have. That's followed by a late youth portion and also a new CWD portion that's open for the first time in our CWD management zone. And then we've got a late antlerless portion in early December. And then the last firearm season portion that we have is the alternative methods portion that runs late December into early January.
All right.
So a lot of opportunity left.
Yeah. Is there anything else that folks may need to know that perhaps we didn't talk about yet today? Anything else that worth mentioning for folks before we wrap up?
Yeah, I think a couple other changes this year in addition to the early antlerless portion. As I mentioned, we have the new CWD portion of firearms deer season, and that'll be the 22nd through the 26th of November. And that's open in all 52 counties that are in the CWD management zone. So that's a new opportunity for hunters in those counties. And hunters should also be check the regulations booklet and be mindful, of course, of all the regulations. But in particular, this year we increased the number of firearms antlerless permit numbers in most counties. So most counties saw an increase in those numbers as well. So a lot of opportunities we're providing for our hunters, again, to help increase harvest of antlerless deer to help us meet our deer management goals.
All right, great stuff. Jason Isabelle is the Cervid Program Supervisor with the Missouri Department of Conservation. Jason, thank you so much for your time today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, to our audience as well, appreciate you all tuning in. We'll be turning it back over to Local News Live. Stick around.
Regional